Joining us now is John Mellor, Associate Professor of the Practice in Notre Dame School of Architecture. Professor Mellor, first of all, welcome to Notre Dame Day.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so you are a practicing architect in the area with over 25 years of experience. Have you designed anything right here on the campus of Notre Dame?
I have. The first job that I had after graduation in the mid-90s was for a firm here in South Bend, and we did quite a bit of work on Notre Dame's campus. And I had the pleasure of being able to work directly on the Rolfs Rec Sports Center, which is now the basketball facility, as well as some laboratories in Newland Science Hall and STEP in Chemistry. But the projects I'm most proud of was I got to do some pretty extensive renovation and redesign of the chapels in St. Edward's Hall, Zahm Hall, Lewis Hall, and Fisher Hall.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right, tell us about coming back to then teach for your alma mater.
So I had my first degree in architecture in 1995, and I practiced for about 13 years, got my license, got registered here in Indiana, and decided that I needed to do something that was a greater contribution to the community. And I decided the path that I wanted to follow was to go back and to become an instructor. So I came back to Notre Dame in my mid-30s and got my master's degree in architecture and started a firm here in town and was given the opportunity to come back and teach on an adjunct basis. And I found that I really enjoyed it. I really love spending time with students and helping educate them and helping them become architects. And that original adjunct position offering turned into a full-time teaching position for me, which, you know, I look at, and I feel very blessed to have this position at Notre Dame.
Well, that's wonderful. Now let's talk about your students. So your fourth year students are designing a project, I understand, for Habitat for Humanity. Can you tell us just a little bit about that project?
Sure. This is a new design studio for us. About a year and a half ago, I started a conversation with one of the associate deans in our school about the idea of giving the students an opportunity to build some of the things that they actually design in our design studios. And the more that we talked about it, the more that we thought that a good fit for this particular idea would be to work with a local Habitat for Humanity chapter here in St. Joseph County. And so about 18 months ago, I got in touch with its president, Jim Williams, and he and I put our heads together and we came up with a solution that's sort of mutually beneficial. So my design students are working on a design of a new house this semester, and will be done actually in a couple of weeks. And then this summer, Habitat for Humanity intends to start construction on it. They're going to break ground with the footings and foundations, and hopefully when we return in the fall semester, the house will be ready for us to rejoin the project again with a different class. And that class is actually going to take part in constructing the house with the goal of having the house finished during the academic year next year. So the students participating in the spring semester course with me now will have the opportunity to take another class in the fall and participate in its construction. And so this is giving them an opportunity to really see the practical side and the reality side of the things that we're teaching in the design studios. We've taken a step beyond the theoretical, and we've given them a chance to really get their hands dirty in a very literal sense. You know, and swing a hammer and use a saw and tangibly make something with their own hands based on the ideas that they had originally put on paper. And so that's what the students are going to get out of it. But this is kind of a two-part sort of process for me, because I'm using this course as an opportunity to help Habitat for Humanity improve the quality of the design work that they're doing. That we're looking to help them to try and remove the stigma of sort of affordable housing, to make the housing that they offer to be as attractive and as durable and actually as energy sustainable as any other of the market rate housing that would be available here in the greater South Bend area. And so part of this is actually giving back some design research on our part to the Habitat for Humanity organization so that they can improve the quality of the product that they're providing.
Yeah, it sounds like just a wonderful experience all around, especially for the students. Can you give us just a glimpse into the timeline, and when will construction begin?
Sure. Well, if all goes according to plan, and well, Lord knows if it will, but we'll find out. We'll be done designing it here in a couple of weeks. We'll make our final presentation in the first week of May. I anticipate turning design documents over to Habitat for Humanity sometime in early June. And at that point, it's a matter of pulling building permits and getting starting with footing and foundation, which I think will happen probably this summer, with construction in full swing by the beginning of the fall semester in August. So we'll be working on this house probably in conjunction with the Notre Dame Habitat for Humanity Club. because they have a very active organization on campus, and they haven't had a chance to build anything for a couple of years thanks to COVID. And so we're anxious to go ahead and work with them and their student volunteers along with the students in this class, plus the Habitat Humanity organization. So I'm just looking forward to it all around.
Yeah, what a great experience for the students, real world experience for them. I want to thank you for joining us, Professor Mellor. It's been wonderful.
Absolutely, glad to do it.